Hey everyone, welcome back to the Business Growth Cook podcast. In today's episode, you'll learn when to secure funding for your business. Regardless of what funding option you choose, be it an angel investor, friends and family, VC capital, debt financing, choosing when and not how is more important. I'm your host today, Mick Foster from Purple Yak, the business coaching firm behind the Business Growth Club. Here, we empower small businesses like yours to grow and scale with insight, education and advice. We work with hundreds of entrepreneurs like you every single day, and we bring their questions and their learnings to this podcast to help more business owners to grow and thrive. Often, it's a lot easier to get funding if you time your funding at the right time. It can be detrimental for you if you actually go out and get funding too early in the process. I'm going to share with you today when it is the best time for you to go out and get funding, not only in terms of getting the maximum amount of funding that you can get, but also good timing for you and your business. Let's start with the first question. When is a good time for you to start seeking out financial support for your business? The process of getting funding for your business can be distracting and it can be very time consuming. Finding and attracting the funding will take a lot of effort and it could be worth it, but if it's not timed right, it could be detrimental to your business. So we're going to discuss how to know it's the right time in your business in today's episode. A lot of new entrepreneurs think, I've got a great business idea, if I can only get funding for it, then it's going to take off. This is a very inexperienced point of view. This is just not how business works in reality. When anybody invests in a business, they're investing in either or both of the following things. Number one, the business itself, or number two, the business owner. If the investor is investing in the actual business itself, meaning you have to be in an established business with a proven track record of sales and revenue, they need to know, is this business worth investing in? Does it actually have legs? Do people actually want what you're selling? If so, they're investing in that business. The investor could decide to invest in the business because of the entrepreneur themselves. They believe in that business owner, that they have the capabilities and the track record to pull off the business idea. For most new entrepreneurs, you will not get funding based on that criteria or based on the business idea itself, because you don't have a proven track record, because you don't have any credibility. If you're a second-time founder following a successful first business, then you're likely to secure funding based on your history and experience. Now, I mentioned earlier a few different types of funding in this episode. You might get angel investment. You might ask your friends and family, which is called a friends and family round. This is where you approach people and ask, would you like to contribute £5,000 each for the sake of the business? Most kinds of investment results in having to give up some equity in the business, which is typical in business funding. You're going to need to sell your business or its future by pitching the business to whoever is going to invest, whether it is friends and family or a VC or even an angel investor. The easiest way to pitch these to investors is with data, because numbers don't lie. If the numbers are in your favour, it's going to get easier and easier for you to get money. This is why the number one rule is, don't seek out funding until you have enough data to prove to the person that you're asking for money. Your whole aim is to get the potential investor in a headspace where they think the data shows that this is a no-brainer. It has to be a no-brainer for the investors. This will make your life a little bit easier because it's hard to ask for money. It gets almost impossible when you have very little data to back it up. When I say data, I mean information, stats that show your business works. This means sales, this means revenue, profitability, and run rate. Perfect position to be in is where you have proven that you have a customer base, where you have a good number of customers that have bought from you, and that your profit margins allow you to be profitable. That's a really good place to be. The minimum should be making revenue in the region of £50,000 to £100,000 a year when looking for funding. This will make your job much easier. If you're not making £50,000 to £100,000 a year in your business in terms of revenue, and you're not profitable, then keep going. Keep growing the business on your own, using your own financing from your own savings as much as possible. You need to get the formula right. before searching out funding to scale the business. I know that some businesses require funding earlier on, however, it's going to be really difficult to do that. But in today's day and age, in the online world, most businesses can get started and can continue to grow based on side hustles and savings. The point here is that you're not really making enough sales and not enough revenue to prove that you really tapped into the market. Anything above this volume of revenue, then you're on an easy path. If you went to an investor and say, I made £150,000 in sales last year in my first year of business, I'm profitable, the business is running, this is what my customers say about my product, then it's so much easier for you to get a yes on funding. Opposed to, I haven't launched, I don't have any customers, I don't know what the customer thinks about my product yet because they haven't bought it. Or even something in the middle, or you're making a few thousand in sales a year. Significant as that might feel for you, you're just starting out on your business journey. That doesn't really sound like a business that people want to invest in, where they're going to get a return on investment. You should be able to make a few thousand without much effort really, but no one's investing because there's not really a return on investment. Now let's touch on debt financing. This is a little bit different because basically it's like a loan, and it's based on your performance right now and the cash flow that you're getting. In a nutshell, what the bank cares about is they're going to get their cash back with interest. If you're running a business with a recurring subscription or payment, this makes it a little bit easier for you to get funding because you have more predictable revenue. Most debt financing options, you need at least $100,000 to $150,000 in revenue to get started. Similar to this is like getting a bank loan from a bank. They're going to need some sales numbers, they're going to need some revenue numbers to prove it's worth them lending you a £50,000, for example, to grow your business because you've made £50,000 to £100,000 already in your business. When it comes to funding, not only do you need to know the numbers, but you also need to know why you need the money and the reasons why the funding will further your business and grow it. You want to be in a position of power, a position of dominance, where you know that when you get this money, you know exactly what you're going to do with it. You know how it's going to improve your business. You know how that investment is going to really double your revenue, for example. This demonstrates to the funders that you will know when you'll be in a position to pay back that loan or pay back investors or give them a return on that investment and make it worth their while. I've seen a lot of pitches by a lot of startups over the years, and I would say probably only 1 out of 6 pitches I would want to have a further conversation with the founder about supporting their venture. Many people think that they can get investment for a business idea because it's just simply a good thing, that it's inspirational, and it really could be. However, in order for something to really work, it has to be sustainable. It has to actually survive in the business world, and if it doesn't have a business model that proves that, then it's basically wasting money in an investor's eyes. It's great that you're passionate about your business, but you've got to make sure that the business side of it works, so it's a no-brainer for people to invest. And that covers everything for today. Thank you for tuning in to the Business Grow Club. If you found value in today's episode, make sure to subscribe and share with fellow entrepreneurs. If you've got any burning questions, reach out on our social channels or email michael@purpleyak.co.uk. Thanks so much for listening. Take care.